everybody viewing on the internet. This is the Threeview, brought to you by RapscallionsReport. Today we're going to be Threeviewing Daredevil Season 1 from Netflix, starring Charlie Cox, I think.
For this episode of Threeview, we're doing Daredevil, starring Ben Affleck and Michael Clark Duncan.
Daredevil is the first of several Netflix-exclusive Marvel shows. There's Daredevil, there's going to be Iron Fist, a.k.a. Jessica Jones, and I believe the Misty Knight series. And it's pretty good.
The plot was really basic and pretty predictable. I saw a lot of things coming. There weren't really many surprises. It was pretty by the numbers for a superhero startup plot line, I guess. It's not really an origin story, unless you count the origin once he gets his costume.
Some of the stuff about the plot, I was kind of hit and miss on. There was the typical, you got your shitty town, Hell's Kitchen. A lot of bad stuff happened to it over the years, kind of like a Detroit type thing. So of course there's going to be a rise in gangs and a rise in drugs and people smuggling stuff, be it people or, whatever, weapons. And it kind of had like that cliche scum of the earth type tone to it.
A lot of the story of Daredevil had to do with the intrigue between different crime bosses, between the Kingpin and the crime bosses from various other regions, the Yakuza, the Russian Mafia, the Chinese Mafia. That stuff was alright, but it wasn't The Wire or anything. It was just, yeah.
A lot of the fight scenes throughout the whole series reminded me of like classic Xbox or PlayStation games where they were just coming out with physics for like destructible environments and using objects in combat and stuff like that. Because there's always people, like any good kung fu movie, breaking tables, breaking chairs, drop kicking doors, that sort of thing.
Being based off a comic book character, one of the things I was looking forward to is the different fights and how well they portrayed Daredevil in Hell's Kitchen and him fighting the different people and so forth. And I think they did a really good job. Everything was really smooth and well choreographed.
Every fight scene was choreographed very, very, very well. There wasn't a lot of wire stuff that looked crappy. A lot of it just looked like kung fu, like something out of, say, The Raid.
I think it goes without saying that pretty much everybody in the whole series performed their minds out. They were phenomenal.
Charlie Cox, who played Matthew Murdock / the Man in the Black Mask / the Devil of Hell's Kitchen / Daredevil, he did a really great job being blind. There's a lot of parts where I was trying to catch him looking at certain stuff, but he always was able to just give that look, like that distant dead stare of looking at nothing, and I thought that was really well done.
I think probably the best actor in the series was actually the Kingpin's assistant, Wesley. He was a very compelling character, a very interesting character, someone who you always felt was hiding something in every scene, or there was something more going on than what he was telling you. Like, part of that may have just been because the actor's performance. He did such a good job of being a cool, calculating character.
Who the hell are you guys?
I'm Matt. He's Foggy.
How long have you been practicing law?
About 7 hours.
It had a really cool intro. I don't know why, but that special effect with like the waxy, bloody, whatever fluid it is pouring over things. I fell in love with that effect after Maroon 5's music video for Love Somebody.
I know we're only halfway there, but take me all the way, take me all the way.
And I will always fall hard for that effect in anything ever.
Oddly enough, the origin of the Kingpin was one of the more interesting things in the series overall. He had a fairly complicated backstory, and they kept kind of alluding to something in his past with this painting that was haunting him. And when they finally unveil what the painting means and what it represents, it's a very kind of shocking moment in the series that I greatly appreciated.
One of the things that kind of bugged me, was kind of a love-hate 50-50 thing, was Ben's character, the reporter. There's a lot of the times where I would like where he was going. I liked his investigation skills. I would like how he spoke to the cops and just the way he presented himself as this old school crime investigator type reporter. And then there's other times where he was kind of cliche and kind of expected. And
what's biting at me is that a lot of characters just didn't have enough room to grow for the actors to flex their thespian muscles.
I think the final episode felt a little rushed. It seemed like they tried to wrap things up kind of quickly. It felt a bit like the last episode of True Detective, in that it seemed like they just wanted to quickly end things and just call it good.
I guess that's all I have to say. Overall, I would give it A- out of 10.
overall, I think it was a good show. I highly recommend it. Even if you're not into Marvel or comic book stuff, I'd say it was good.
Overall, I liked it quite a bit. Quite a lot, actually. Daredevil was very good, and I'm very, very excited for the next things coming out. I think it'll be great.
That's about it.
Yeah, the end.
It's impossible to avoid for what I'm trying to do. I've hurt people. And I'm going to hurt more.
I'm gonna make you pay for what you've done.
I respect your conviction. The lone man thinks he can make a difference.
Do you believe in the devil, Father?
I believe he walks among us.